Our family grew a few years ago. We had twin boys named Miles and George. Their birth was a little complicated. We knew at the 20-week scan that Miles was showing signs of some issue. Around 8 weeks before their due date, I went in for just one of our regular scans, and the high-risk doctor felt like something was off. There was something going on with the cord blood flow, and the resources were going all to George and not to Miles. So we did an emergency C-section.
Miles, he had like a laundry list of things wrong with him when he was first born. He was very, very fragile.
Both boys were in the NICU for 5 weeks. George came home, and then 3 days later, Miles transferred from our local hospital to Nemours.
It was almost like just two worlds. Like George was like here, and like we were able to bathe him, feed him, and put him to sleep.
With Miles, we still always had to have a nurse around if we were going to do anything with him. I wasn't allowed to hold them. I wasn't allowed to change their diapers at first. All the things that you imagine doing when you're a new mom, I was not allowed to do because I wasn't medically trained. So it was very difficult. It was really hard to not be the person who could just do everything for them. We were missing a lot of work, and I ran out of paid vacation days. It was my income that was being the most impacted, and I felt really guilty. I felt like in some way I was letting the family down. To have that cushion just sort of fall into our laps at a time when we had started talking about whether or not we were going to have to sell our new house. And we had never even been able to bring Miles home to it yet.
Yeah.
We're sitting in this house right now because of Fred's footsteps. Having an organization out there that specifically helps families who could typically make their finances work, but where all of the control has been taken away and all of the heartache of a sick child has been added, there's no other organization that I know of out there like Fred's Footsteps.
Looking back, I just think about the boost that Fred's Footsteps gave us, and it was such a difference maker.
Thank you for seeing us.
Yeah.
For seeing the need. Sometimes you just can't do it all yourself, and that's okay. Every time one of us gets back on our feet, there's another family who's taking our footsteps, who's following our footsteps. So there's always need. If you'd like to support a family like ours, visit fredsfootsteps.org.